Welcome to the ITIS TV News. 6 years ago in Rome, the bases of Europe were laid down as we know it today. On the occasion of this anniversary, we are issuing a special edition. For 60 years, we have been building a union that can promote peaceful cooperation, as well as the respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, and solidarity among the European nations and people. One of the main goals of the European Union is to put an end to all the bloody wars among the states. The founders were Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Now, here's a service about the history of the European Union.
In 1981, Greece became the 10th EU state. The European Single Act provided the basis for a 6-year program to address the problems that hindered trade between member states and created an internal market. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell off, and for the first time after 28 years the border between the Eastern Germany and the Western Germany was opened. In 1993, the European market was completed, and it was based on the 4 freedoms of movement of people, goods, services and money, warranted by the Schengen, the Maastricht and the Amsterdam Treaties. In 1995, Austria, Finland and Sweden also joined the Union. At the beginning of the 21st century, the euro became the new currency for many of the member states. In 2004, other 10 members joined the Union, followed in 2007 by Bulgaria and Romania, that restored the political division between the Eastern and the Western Europe. The Lisbon Treaty, signed in 2009, equipped the EU with more modern institutions, and its main purposes were to make the EU more democratic, more efficient and better able to address global problems, such as climate changes. In 2012, the EU received the Nobel Peace Prize, and in 2013, Croatia became the 28th EU member state.
Thanks, Steve. Now, let's learn about some curiosities such as the flag and the anthem.
The European flag symbolizes both the European Union and the European identity in general. The flag shows a circle of 12 gold stars on a blue background. The stars represent the ideals of unity, solidarity and harmony among the European peoples. The flag was created in 1955. The Euro anthem is based on Ode to Joy, taken from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, composed in 1823. The anthem was adopted in 1972 by the Council of Europe, as without wars, with a universal language of music, this anthem expresses the ideals of freedom, peace and solidarity, pursued by Europe. The European Festival is on the 9th May and celebrates peace and unity in Europe. The European motto, Unity in Diversity, was used for the first time in 2000. The motto stands for all those European peoples who have worked together for peace and prosperity, without changing their cultures, traditions and languages.
Thank you, Albert. But now, let Frederick and Mark tell us something about institutions.
We are going to introduce the European legislature by quoting some exclusive skills, such as the monetary policy or the biological safeguard of the seas. But which issues does the European Union laws deal with? It basically deals with the internal market, economic and social cohesion, consumer protection, and freedom, security and justice. It also supports, coordinates and complements member state actions such as the protection and improvement of human health, industry and culture, tourism and education. The European Commission drafts new legislative proposals on the subject discussed above. The proposals are discussed, amended and finally endorsed or rejected by the Council and the European Parliament. The European countries are represented by the European Council. In the Council, the ministers of all member states meet to discuss relevant questions about the EU and decide policies and legislative acts. The Minister Council passes acts, defines and approves community policies and ratifies treaties. The member states decide in the treaties to take most of their decisions by acting by a qualified majority. Other European institutions you have probably heard of are the Court of Justice, the European Central Bank and the European Court of Editors. The European Council brings together presidents or prime ministers from EU countries. It is presided over by a president appointed for 2.5 years. The European Council represents the highest level of political cooperation among the EU countries. The EU laws are passed by the European Parliament and the ministers of the Member States during the Council meetings.
The European Commission consists of 28 members, one for each member state. They're in charge for 5 years, and they need to receive the approval of the European Parliament. Each representative has a specific task. The commissioners don't represent their country of origin, but instead they represent the interests of the European Union as a whole. The European Commission proposes new laws and new programs in line with the interests of the European Union. It is then up to the European Parliament and the European Union Council to adopt any changes. The European Commission watches upon the correct application of the European Union treaties. It is then the executive organ of the European Union, which manages policies and budget. It also ensures that the member states apply the European Union legislation correctly. Is composed by 751 representatives from all the member states. The European Parliament is directly elected by the European Union citizens every 5 years. People are allowed to vote at the age of 18, and in Austria the right to vote is at the age of 16. The principal meetings, also known as plenary sessions, are held in Strasbourg and sometimes also in Brussels. The European Union Parliament has a legislative function. It approves the budget of the European Union and monitors the usage. The member states are represented by the European Union Council and gather together to discuss the issues related to the European Union and establish the policies and the legislative acts of the Union. The Council issues laws and approves and defines common policies. Moreover, it ratifies treaties.
Good, this is very interesting, but how European Union is relevant to us, Steven Yon will explain it to us.
As regards the European market, people, goods, services and money can move freely within the EU member countries. Thanks to this, there are a lot of opportunities that are given to younger people. They can easily travel to a foreign country and study there, and many of them can take these opportunities for granted, whereas in the past, one could only dream about it. The introduction of the Euro Banknotes and coins and having a common currency have affected Europe in a positive way. Thanks to a single market composed by 28 countries and more than 500 million people, consumers have access to a wider choice of products. However, in a market where you can buy and produce things wherever you want, there must be common rules. You need to feel safe when you buy something wherever you buy it, including on the internet. And you have to know that as a consumer you have a certain rights. The EU has removed many obstacles and barriers.
The EU has gradually taken apart national monopolies and allowed competition between airlines. Today, all European airlines may operate air services on any route within the EU, so traveling is much easier in Europe. 22 countries have signed for the Schengen Agreement. This means that you can move between the Schengen countries without a passport. In order to protect the EU citizens when visiting another EU country, the EU has introduced the European Health Insurance Card, with which you can get access to state-provided healthcare abroad and pay the same taxes as locals. As regards roaming, the EU has set a limit on prices for calling, texting or surfing the internet on phones when you are in another EU country. In addition to this, the roaming charges are likely to be abolished by 2070. As regards environmental pollution and climate change, the EU countries have joined forces by passing laws to tackle the problem of pollution. The EU finances various projects in order to provide economic growth and jobs, and reduce regional disparities all over the continent. They finance roads, rails and broadband, and support research projects and startups. The EU also deals with peace, democracy and human rights.
Thank you for watching.